Welcome back to ECE 442-542. This is the announcements segment for lecture 5.2. 5.2's lecture is dealing with 3 performance specifications for second order systems in discrete time. And make sure that you're clear that these are approximations based on second order systems, meaning if you have a system with 3 poles, 4 poles, we're still trying to sort of just get a feel for what we need to do for the dominant poles, the 2 dominant poles, and how those performance specifications impact the behavior of your system. For announcements, please pay attention to the discussion posts on D2L for each unit and make sure that you're following along and are staying up to date with those. Typically those are helpful in answering questions you might have. Homework number 4 is being rescheduled. It now has a modified due date to Monday, the 23rd of March. We will be holding office hours based on the quiz responses on Mondays and Wednesdays from 4 to 5, and that 4 to 5 time slot is Tucson time. Those are being recorded, but I'm not going to make those recordings available. If there is material in those office hours or during those office hours that needs to be communicated to the entire class, then I will record a separate section or a separate video and notes trying to summarize those particular office hour discussions. If you're having difficulties accessing the material, if you do get sick, please let me know if you can, and we'll try to work things out as best as we can. The exam dates obviously have been modified. Exam number 2, which was originally scheduled to occur in 2 days, is not going to be held at that time. I'm still trying to decide how we will assess your understanding of this course material for the rest of the semester, and I'm thinking about maybe doing some quizzes or more quizzes in lieu of some of the exams that were originally planned. So stay tuned. I'm right now thinking about a quiz on April 1st, and that's not an April Fool's joke. April 1st, which is a Wednesday, and that's a little over a week away, and I'm thinking it might be relative to Unit 3 material. So stay tuned via emails and announcements as to what that might consist of. The graduate students, the 542 students, your project is still as scheduled. Your first deliverable is due on April 1st, and that's really just a quick summary, 2 or 3 sentences of what your project, what you want to do for your project. The bulk of your project will be due on May 6th, and that will come in the form of 2 deliverables. The main project is deliverable number 2. Deliverable number 3 is really a reflective paragraph on what you've learned, what you have benefited from during that project exercise. The final exam is still scheduled for Thursday, the 14th of May. Make sure that you're keeping on top of the announcements and the emails for this class. And again, if you have issues or difficulties, please let me know via email. In this particular unit, I'm using some previous material, and those I'm calling supplements. You'll find these at the bottom of Unit 5 on that particular Unit 5 module, and these will be, I hope, more clear after seeing the different lectures. For example, there's a few lectures that supplement this particular lecture, which is 5.2. Supplement 1 is creating a desired closed loop transfer function, which we're calling T sub C of Z. Where do we locate the poles? and we're assuming that we have a second order system that is used to create this T sub C of Z. What happens when we have competing performance, and I may use these words interchangeably, performance specifications or design specifications? What if they are not really consistent? What if they're competing with each other? And these performance specifications are dealing with settling time, percent overshoot, and peak time or time to peak. How do you deal with competing performance specifications? What's this relationship between sampling and aliasing? Then there's an overview of controller design. What do we really want? What are we trying to accomplish when we say we're going to design a controller? And then basically at the end of this unit, after lecture 5, in unit 5's lectures, we'll deal with Ragazzini design and some of the subsequent lectures. In 5.5 supplement, you'll see a Ragazzini design example that illustrates this intersample ripple that we may talk about, or in fact you want to be aware of, that can happen in a discrete time system. Again, this is the announcement for lecture 5.2, and be prepared. I'm going to separate this lecture into many different pieces, but they will start isolating on the 3 different performance specifications or 3 different design specifications: settling time, percent overshoot, and peak time.